And we're back. Hello, hello, hello. You know what? The show was getting so good. They was like, wait a minute, we need to take a pause for the cause, right?
They shut us down.
I was like, what's up with that?
Too much heat. Too much heat.
It's hot in her. No,
Yeah.
that just
That's
means,
why I'm wearing a sweater.
Right,
why
yeah.
Am I wearing a sweater?
Well, you know what? Look at me. Even though it's
I'm
short
wearing all
sleeve,
black.
but,
This is crazy.
That's all right. Well, see, I know why I'm wearing black.
Why are you wearing black?
Because black is slimming.
Oh, you don't need that. You don't
Thank
need that.
you. You are too kind. So, we took a quick commercial break and we had a little discussion. And so it was a great segue into, and we talked about as far as being prepared and looking at the grand scheme of things and the why of, living in your dream and your passion and what benefit, like when you approach, let's say someone that is a celebrity and you want to strike or pique their interest in how you can add value to them or how they can, as far as their outreach, what they can do to make an impact. Because the bottom line is we all want to make some kind of, a positive impact at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So I think that, a lot of them have the fame and the fortune and, the money and all that. But at the end of the day, what difference does it make?
Yeah, and I think I was going to add to that. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say too, I think about this a lot. When you think about a person's significance in their life, as we're talking about adding value, you just think about somebody's funeral. Like, what do people say? I always talk about how people impacted them. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times we think about, how do we get this? How do I get that? You got a huge mansion, all that. But when you die, not only can you not take it with you, we know that, but the people here don't even remember that. Mm-hmm. They don't need, that doesn't even stay with them. Right. What stays with them is the value that you added to their life. And so even for you personally, as you add significance to people's life, if you walk by Jay-Z, well, how could you actually add significance, much less than him actually signing, you're doing whatever, that's great. Mm-hmm. But the end goal should still be you want to add significance to his life and you want to add significance to other people's life. And those connections stay stronger anyways. Mm-hmm. So even if you want to be practical about it, adding significance to people's life is more practical than the other way around. Yeah.
Absolutely. That was a great message. Oh, we got that. Did we get that? Because I don't know what's happening to my Facebook Live.
Technology, man.
This thing.
Bad technology follows me. It follows me.
Jeez, but yes, that is very profound what you just said, and that's a good segue into the message in your music. Right now is typically when we do the Have You Heard segment, and it's an opportunity for me to share with the audience through video what some artists are doing and give you an opportunity to actually see artists that I think that you should be aware of, and we're going to show It's the stereotype. We're going to show one of your videos. Mm-hmm. It's what is it? Stereotype.
Stereotypes, yeah.
It's called Stereotypes, and we're going to watch some of it, and then we'll talk about the meaning and the message behind the video. So check this out.
Oh my goodness! Oh no, somebody stole our stuff! Oh, look! There are crumbs there! Fried chicken crumbs and, pieces of watermelon. Hey, look outside the window! Oh my gosh, there's a guy there with his pants so low and a hoodie. It must be him. Call the police! Call the police! Oh no! Pants low, hang low to my ankles. Gang bang dope, slang ho, bang stanks no. Bang bang show, tanks blow with my vandals. Smoke, plan stroke, can flow. I'm a fan ho, like Jay Rihanna. Crazy drama, baby mamas, flaky fathers, lazy papas, marijuanas. And affirmative action, which means encourage a black punk from the bad slump. Cause he's that dumb, but he raps some for cash flow. Hopping and driving, it's hopping, I'm rocking the Hobson. Cop stop with a pop glop plotting to stop me. Pop a lot of shots, pull the llama, do what you gotta. Mom's Obama with nada, my palm is as hot as a Gaza sign, I shoot a copper. Modern atomic bombing, Osama, Islamic drama. For dollars, mama, I'm a criminal man in the middle of ghettos. The literal image of ethnic cynical villain is villain militant, mini gorilla, minimum criminal image. Vanilla women better run from my intimate grimace. Black kiddo with gap pistols, a pack skittles. I attack widows and stack singles. That black singles, triple slap bimbles, flash nipples, cash drizzles, dribble basketballs, rap riddles. It's that simple. Wanna catch a felon? Get me fried chicken and watermelon. Kool-Aid, cornbread, and you got your felon. Stereotyping, what you think is just not likely. It's not like me, so stop stereotyping. What you think is just not likely. It's not like me, so stop stereotyping. What you think is just I'm a silent kid, a scientist with a violin. It's 5 to 10, so I'm taking my vitamin, cause my eyes are thin. An Asian nerd or levitated, meditating, elevated bird. Never dated girls in 7th grade with stress-related nerves. Parents made me work for better grades than first. Segregated birds.
Now that I've offended the whole world.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Before we start talking about this video, because, we done sat here and talked for about 20 minutes, and I have
awesome.
not introduced you formally. Ain't that crazy?
Who's this buffoon?
No, not at all. But it's like, it's important for people to know who you are. And I'm not going to, because you have a long bio here.
Yeah, don't read that.
But what I want to do, though, is in terms of this first paragraph, and you say hip hop and martial arts have been dating for a while. It looks like a while back they made it official. Meet their ultimate love child, Barbarian Super Saiyan rapper Philippe.
Who wrote that? Man,
rap is a martial art.
Boastful.
A former Southern, Shaolin disciple under Grandmaster Yim, an international fighting and forms grand champion meets rapper extraordinaire. The rapper of Shaolin and hip hop. To him, rap and martial arts are synonymous. So within the short time span of his selective releases, his thought-provoking raw lyricism, spiritual imagery, and dizzying rhyme patterns caused Amp Sounds, the critic, to describe him as possibly having the best rap flow of the last 10 years. Now, I'm going to stop there because it goes on and it talks about your career as a model. It talks about your career as an actor and your career as a music artist. And we're going to get into the interview and find out how you have managed to not only marry the martial arts and the hip hop, but how you've managed to combine all three in terms of, your career path and how you've managed to leverage them all against each other. So before we go into that, though, let's talk about the video that we just saw. Stereotype. So what prompted you to write that song?
There's a lot of stereotyping going on.
Absolutely. All day, every day.
Yeah, I'm originally from Haiti. And so, English is my second or my third is my second language. And so growing up, going to international school before I went to an American school, I didn't really fit in any particular category, so, I was constantly stereotyped. Like there was an expectation of what I was supposed to be. And on top of that, you add all the martial arts stuff. So all the Asian influences, it was like I didn't fit any stereotypes. And so that kind of caused that all the police shootings going on, everything's kind of going on in the country, kind of struck that up for me. And I thought, what better way to address it with a satire? And some people have been offended by it, but it's good because the point is that it's offensive.
Right.
The point is that stereotypes are offensive. So the point was, if you're offended by this video, good. So it was even beyond the rap. It was beyond, like I was saying earlier. It's not one of my favorite things that I've done, but message-wise, I like it because it's kind of on message. I wanted people to feel the impact of stereotypes and to react to it. And so people have done that, and so that's what I wanted.
Okay. And so how did, in terms of what rap is a martial art, that is your brand, your part of your brand. As a matter of fact, when I looked you up on IMDb, it's I get those initials mixed up. But when I looked you up on there,
who's that?
That's you. And hold on, let's see. Oh, hold on, I gotta take my glasses off to see that. Oh, it must have been in your bio where it said like your slogan. Brand or your slogan is rap is a martial art. So how did all of that come about?
Yeah, so I as we were talking, I came from Haiti. My father was an international business guy that worked hard to come here. My parents both did international business stuff. And but the interesting thing about my father, he was a MMA instructor at one of the first kind of MMA schools in the country. I remember it wasn't even in style at the time. And so he put me in martial arts when I was like 6 years old, I think. And so we would always kind of do it together. And so he kind of started that. So that was always, I can't remember a time I wasn't doing a martial art. And then when I got to Shaolin Kung Fu, it kind of became all consuming. My life, I wanted to be a kung fu master. I was doing it 5 to 7 hours a day. My parents, being international, didn't really like hip hop music. You know what I mean? I remember my dad in the car, and I kind of took it from him. When I would hear rap music, I'd be like, "Yo, turn it off." You know, and so I started hearing it with my friends, and I heard Eminem album, and I was like, "This is incredible. This is crazy." And so, so when I came to wanting to rap, it was from a martial arts perspective for me. And one day I was rapping, and I was like, "Yo, I'm approaching this a very similar way to how I approached martial arts." And as I analyzed the cultures, I was like, they're very similar. And I think that's why you've had the Wu-Tangs. That's why you've had the Kung Fu Kennys. There's this kind of revolutionary war. Yet there's this whole kind of context that's very similar, even in kind of the spirit of it. Rap is very competitive. If you look at martial arts films, it's who has the best school, and I'm gonna go compete against him and do this and do that. And rap's the same way. 50 Cent comes out and he wants to destroy everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's a very similar kind of mindset. And so I was like, yo, rap is a martial art, but it wasn't even like I was trying to hark back to Wu-Tang or anything like that. It's just that's literally who I am. It's not like I'm taking martial arts theme. It's like that's what I know. His martial arts themes, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where that came from.
So as you were talking, it made me think about like when we had our conversation and we talked about what fuels the why of your dream. So talking about what fuels the why of your dream, and then going back to what you were just saying in terms of like your parents and, we're listening to the rap and turn that off and all that. Cause I have a similar story with my mom. She'd be like, girl, if you don't stop, but she's front and center at every show, right?
Yeah, my dad actually, he's like, I like your flow. I was like, Dad, you know the word flow? This is incredible.
So in terms of, of the what fuels your dream and in terms of, because I know that you're highly educated and your parents wanted you to go down one path and you chose the path to follow your dream in terms of the hip hop.
Yeah.
So going kind of against what they wanted for you initially and still staying true to your dream, what was it that kept you on track and on par? Do you think a big part of that was the martial arts, the discipline, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think a lot of that for me, again, we talk about the why. Like, why do people have a dream? Why do they do what they want to do? For me, as I look at the impact of art, I feel like the artists of the day are kind of like the prophets of the day, if you will. I'm using that term loosely, but they're the ones who kind of determine the worldview. They report on the worldview, but they also kind of determine the worldview because everybody sees them everywhere. So if Jay-Z has an opinion, all of a sudden everybody hears that opinion. And so nobody necessarily hears a counter opinion. If it sounds good, you hear Jay-Z's opinion. Right. We talked about this, Leonardo DiCaprio, I think it was him speaking at the United Nations. Like, are you serious? Like, I mean, no disrespect to him, but really, you know what I mean? And so artists have a huge platform. So for me, it's the platform and the message. Like, what can you leave? We talked about, I've had a lot of starts and stops with this mixtape. We lost my mother-in-law tragically, super tragically. My wife and I had a miscarriage, you know what I mean? She was on bed rest a bunch of times. So it was literally impossible. Yeah. It was impossible to finish what I had set out to do. But for me, much more than the music. To me, the music is just a bridge. You know what I mean? And it's a bridge, period, now. It's a bridge to making money. You don't really make money off the music. You make money off of, you know what I mean? Right. And for me, it's also a bridge to a message. You can put all your message in the music, or you could use the music to give you a platform to share what's most important. And I want to share what's most important with people who may not necessarily want to hear it. Because for me, and we talked about this a little bit, I grew up with all types of spiritual backgrounds, around me, Muslim friends, Buddhists, Hindus. I studied a lot of different spiritual paths and religions. And so for me, there was a point in my life where I was just like, man, you know what? If I just kind of make, a lot of people say they're spiritual, right? And no disrespect to anybody, but ask, what does that mean? What does that mean? A lot of times it means they're taking what they like from everything and then just making up a conclusion. And so for me, I was like, yo, if I take everything and make it up, I know for certain that it's not true. Because I'm only about 30-something years old, and I just made this up. How long has the universe been around? So if I made it up, it's definitely wrong. And so I got to a really dark place in my life, some sexual addictions, some crazy stuff. And I was an instructor at the martial arts school. And you read the Shaolin Temple rules. You know what I mean? It's like purity. I'm like, yo, I'm a fraud. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fraud. And you have a lot of that with religion, which is why people step away. And even looking at Christianity growing up, I saw people on TV selling miracle water. Like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. Like, that's definitely, you know what I mean? That's definitely not true. If you have miracle water, go throw it at some hospitals.
Right.
Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you selling this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And so I'm very skeptical by nature. And I think all the time. I think a lot. And so, you know, I got to a kind of a dark place in my life, and I was just like, I look outside. I'm an artist, and so by virtue of being an artist, I know that something that's organized and thoughtful doesn't just pop out of nothing.
Right.
It doesn't pop out of the air. If I don't work on a song, it's going to sound terrible. I have to work on it. And so when I look at the universe, it's like, yeah, this didn't pop out of nothing. If I told you my song just made itself, you'd look at me like I was insulting you. But you want me to believe that the universe came out of nothing. Of course it didn't. I can see, like, you know, the eye itself is a supercomputer. Right. Your whole body, super skeletal systems. Like, what? Like, impossible. You know, you could believe in aliens. That's fine. Whatever you want to believe in, but don't tell me there's nothing there.
Don't tell my dad.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, don't tell me there's nothing there. And so for me, I got to a point where, and this ties into my message. This is a long-winded way to go into my message,
but I enjoy it.
I got to a point where I basically was like, you know, man, I'm in a dark place. I'm a fraud. I don't even have the power to obey these rules. And I was like, God, I know you're out there, because I can just look outside. So I was just like, I don't care if you're 100 blue, you know, things in the sky. I don't care if you're Muhammad, Jesus. I don't care who you are, but I need you to show up. You know, I need you to. You know, rappers ain't supposed to tear up, but that's how real this is for me.
Right.
You know, I was like, I need you to show up and impact my life. I need you to do something so dramatic that it goes beyond my reason. Because I tell people just, you know, there's a Bible passage, obviously that's where kind of I ended up. It says, seek me with all your heart and you'll find me. And a lot of people just use their minds and their intellect. But I tell people this, just a quick little thing is like, you know, your intellect can only take you as far as the information that you have.
Right.
So if you're lacking information, which we know you can't tell me everything about astrophysics, can you? No, you can't. We haven't even figured out everything about astrophysics. So if you depend on your intellect solely to get to a conclusion, you're missing all the information. You can't even honestly come to a correct conclusion. You don't have all the information. How the heck you know, all 10 years down the line, you know, scientific findings change. They change because they found a new part of the equation. Right. And so that changes. You know, carbon dating, that can change. Everything can change. So the bottom line is something so crazy, you know, I was asking, it has to happen in my life for me to land somewhere that I know beyond my reason. I can trust something beyond my reason. Right. And so, you know, so that's kind of for me, you know, part of what I want to share. And I don't want to go too long with this, but can I share something that really impacted me?
Yes,
in it?
Definitely.
So for me, you know, one of the thoughts I share with people is when I looked at all the spiritual paths, it was really interesting. It was like, all right, your good outweighs your bad, then you get reincarnated better, or then you go to heaven, or you go to whatever. That was kind of the formula. So everybody sees the same formula, so they're like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm going to do whatever. But the crazy thing is this, let me ask you this. If I come to your house and I murder the people in your house, right? One bad thing, I just blow up the house. And then my court date is 5 months from now. And in those 5 months, I do a million good things. One versus a million. Right. What happens to me when I get to court 5 months later?
You still going to prison.
You're still guilty.
Right.
You're still guilty. And so that whole thing doesn't even work. If there's a God, a righteous God who's going to judge what we do, I was dead meat from day one. I was dead meat from a lie. You know, there's a Passions Bible, again, super strong. And for me, it's all about also what lines up, what makes sense, right? If God says he's love and he's righteous, he has to be both at the same time. Right? He can't just be love one second and righteous another. Like, I know you did all this evil, but I'm just going to forget it. Whoa, hold up. How does that work? And you can't just be righteous if you're loving. I'm going to send everybody to hell. Well, how does that work? Right? So, you know, when I talk to my friends, I'm like, yo, this got to make sense. And so I leave this thought with people. I say this, man. You know, there's a Bible passage that really impacted me, Romans 6:23. It says the wages of sin is death. It's talking about spiritual death. We look at the world and we're like, man, why is there so much suffering? We want justice, but we don't want justice for ourselves, right? I've been selfish. You know what I'm saying? I've been dishonest. You know what I'm saying? I've been greedy. I've been everything that you could possibly be. Right. But I'm out here self-righteous, like, oh man, look at all the kids in Sierra Leone. I'm wearing this sweater. You know how much this sweater cost me? I ain't spending it on the kids in Sierra Leone. If I care that much, then get naked like they are and give them your clothes. You know what I'm saying? And so people are always talking about suffering, but the matter of the fact is we're selfish. So bottom line is this: I'm guilty. Do not lie. Do not steal. Do not murder. Jesus said this. He says, you look at a man with hate in your heart, you committed murder in your heart. So that means I'm a murderer at heart. So if the wages of sin is death, it's talking about spiritual death. That means we all have a death penalty, spiritual death penalty, right? And like I said in the example earlier, all the good stuff I do is not going to take away my death penalty. And so things growing. My point is my point is this is that you're in that courtroom, you feel more loved than ever. But then imagine if you were asked a question based on my spiritual laws, are you innocent or guilty? I'd be guilty. God doesn't have to be mean to send me to hell. Not at all. I'm guilty. That's not his fault. He created everything, gave me lungs, gave me everything every day. As people curse God, he still gives them life. He's overly generous, right? So you're there, day of reckoning. Now imagine there's a spiritual electrical chair right there. All right, just a metaphor for spiritual death. We start walking towards it because we're like, oh man, we're dead meat. You look back at everybody. You know, people think they could party with their friends in hell. No, everybody's lonely there. Nobody's together. You know, you ain't gonna party. Satan doesn't run it. He's going to it. So you look at everybody like, man, I'm never gonna see anybody again, right? But then you look back at your chair and you see the judge kind of coming down to your level and everybody's in awe, like, what's going on? He gives you a huge hug. He's like, I love you. He's like, what you did is he's like, I'm righteous. I can't let what you did go. He's like, I cannot let that go. And you're like, all right, man, it's some kumbaya, goodbye hug. Man, I'm be gone forever, dude. I don't need a hug. And then, so you look back again and then you look back at your chair and you see the judge sitting on your chair. You're like, Judge, what are you doing? And he says, I'm too righteous to let what you did go. He says, but I love you too much to have you pay for this forever. So he sits down and he says, I'm loving and righteous at the same time. Remember how I said that? So I'm righteous. I got to give the penalty, but I'm loving. So he says, so I'm going to come down. I'm going to take that penalty for you. And I think about the term God is love. Everybody likes to throw it out. I'm like, how do you know God is love? Oh, I'm blessed. Okay. Well, somebody just got raped down the street. What does that mean then? So that's the whole thing, man. So I tell people God is love. Love is sacrifice. That's how you know. And that's the ultimate sacrifice for God to pay for that, man. And so I love that. Bible says it's a free gift. He said you accept it by faith. You admit your guilt. You turn from it in your heart. Don't mean you're going to be perfect. And you accept that gift by faith that he died for you, rose again on the third day. And I tell people, man, regardless of what you believe, the word gospel means good news. Tell me that's not the best news you would have ever heard. Right? All your debt forgiven, free gift of heaven. So. Man, that was a long-winded.
Well, but that was great. I mean, that was great. So we're going to take a quick break. What I want to know, though, is with all of that knowledge, is this message shared in your music? But we'll talk about that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll address that question, and then we'll get to see a live performance. So stay tuned. So, I mean, that was a lot to take in, what you just said before the break. And I mean, I've never heard an analogy quite like that, and it was very insightful. So now I'm curious to know what, in terms of your message, how is that message relayed in your music? And is the intent of, who is your intended audience?
Yeah. So tying it back to everything you said, but that's part of my why. That's why I keep on going, because I think it's an important message for people to hear. Everybody has to pass away at some point.
Right.
And so I think it's an important message. As far as my music goes, yeah, you know, it's kind of balanced. I have a lot of tracks on the mixtape that cause people to think that way. You know, so it's not meant for like a Christian audience per se. It's really like, I want people to think. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff that's just martial arts themed and cool and, you know, and fun. And that's purposeful, because a lot of my music is just expressing how I feel. Some of it is how I think, but as a martial artist, it's just coming out of me, how I feel and how I think. So yeah, it's not like if you want a gospel album, then you probably don't want mine.
But there's positive message in it.
Absolutely.
Positive message. So now, you know, I thought that maybe with this live performance, we might get a little glimpse of some martial arts. But if we don't, that means that you're just going to have to come back. Your mixtape
So we
is coming.
definitely won't.
Your mixtape will be released. Shout out to Heather that just walked in looking beautiful. What's up, Heather?
The majestic Heather.
So we are... you have to come back, and when you launch your mixtape,
Yes, ma'am.
definitely got to hear about the exciting things that you can share.
Yes.
With what's next for you.
Yeah.
But quick, before
Social
you
media?
before we go to break and you do a live performance, how can people stay connected?
Everything pretty much is Rap is a Martial Art. So it's facebook.com/Rap is a Martial Art. It's rapisamartialart.com. Instagram is Rap is a Martial Art. Everything is Rap is a Martial Art.
Okay. All right. So you guys, y'all need to make sure y'all stay connected and in touch with this brother. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. And actually, he's going to be right here.
Yeah, we don't take breaks.
Some,
we don't take breaks, Wendy.
Well, I'm going to move, so I need a few minutes. I'm going to move, and I'm going to sit over here next to Miss Heather while you do your thing.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Rap is a martial art.
I gave you fair warning, beware.
A little louder.
I gave you fair warning, beware.
Yo, I'm a fighter at heart. Nice when I start. Tight, slice it apart. Bible and art ignite with a spark. Fight when you talk, flight when you walk, right when you walk. Light on your mark, are you ready? Slice a machete. I spill oxygen from my toxic pen. What's not in phlegm. When I jot, the ink will die if I cough again. My top lip and nostrils are frostbitten. Rocky would need an optic lens to block my limbs. My punchlines are like Tupac and Slim in the boxing ring with Nas, Christopher Wallace, the Rodney King. I'm in here like Bobby Pin. And yo, vocally, totally, locally, globally, vocally, school you like feudal pupils. I woo you and dutifully move you. Doodle do when I doodle boodle. I lose my noodle, violent doodle, sumo, modulo, doodle, bruising your music studio to the moon. Pluto, pollute the booth, the Google funeral. My Looney Tunes will dutifully do their duty. You dudes literally do little, giggle, can't do diddle. I'm Dr. Doolittle, your poodle riddles are doodle to me. Rap is a martial art. Hey yo, dope is an opiate, hoping my opium's holy. Philippe is on the microphone. I go straight up the dome, chilling with Wendy Hicks. One thing I never do is gently spit. I'm on the microphone and I'm going so crazy, talking repentance every sentence. Every time I go in, it's time for me to go off of the dome. Freestyle, meanwhile, everybody seems senile and skeptical. So projectables that I flow from my flow. Philippe is on the microphone, just so you know. Rap is a martial art straight off the dome all day. Oh man, I need, but on sway. Universe put me next. Reject, respect, everybody see me. Precepts, I come off of the dome. But every time I'm on the microphone, you know it's my home. Rap is a martial art. I gave you fair warning. Beware. I said, hold up. I said vocally, totally, locally, globally, vocally, school you like feudal pupils. I woo you and dutifully move you. It's doodle do when I doodle brutal. I lose my noodle, vale tudo sumo, medulla, judo, bruising your music studio to the moon. Flew to Pluto, pollute the booth, go Google funeral. My Looney Tunes are dutifully do their duty. You dudes literally do little, giggle, can't do diddle. I'm Dr. Doolittle, your poodle riddles are doodle to me. Rap is a martial art. Oh,
my Lord.
that was the commercial. That was the commercial.
Wow, wait a minute. Let me get. Oh, wow, I am super excited.
Oh, thank
that
you,
was
thank
great.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Man, Heather, I tell you, you could definitely scout some talent, Heather.
Heather is a beast.
Okay. All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. And we're back. I tell you, we are still excited and just beaming over that performance. It amazes me, the gift of being able to, freestyle, right? Okay, yeah, that freestyle.
The freestyle part?
Yes.
Not all of it was freestyle.
And you know, I really like where it was freestyle when you threw Wendy Hicks in there. I was like, whoa, I like that. I got chill bumps.
Yes.
So
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I am so happy that we met. I'm glad that we're in each other's lives now. And hopefully, so there's a commercial for the third Thursday After Work Flow. It's a monthly event that I'm hosting. I will be performing live and I'm inviting my musical friends to come out, do a song or two.
So you got a new musical friend now.
Yes, I do. So that means you got to come. Yay! So yes, promise me you'll come out.
I'll come out as long as I'm available for sure.
Oh yes. And if not, I'll catch you one Thursday. If not, the 15th.
Yeah, I'll definitely be out.
Great. Okay. Well, we look forward. So the Set Your Mind, Set Your Week. We've had some spiritual conversation going. We've had some inspirational things going on. Quotes and things that were said to motivate you, to put you, in motion, to do whatever it is that you're passionate about doing, and looking at the why, right, in your dream. So is there anything that you want to share, that you want to end the show with? I'm going to let you end the show with something
We're going to end the
positive.
show. Wendy Hicks is incredible. And Heather is majestic.
Yes.
And James Whitley is a beast. You got to check out his art. Gospel
Yes.
according to Nintendo. Check it out. You Google it
Okay.
if you want to be amazed. I'm just saying.
Yes, and again, we want to thank you. I thank you so much for coming out. And again, once the official launch of your mixtape, once you have that schedule, let me know so you can come back. Want to thank you guys. Heather, again, thank you. James, thank you so much for coming. Look, James is directing from back. Come on and say hi.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
This is Heather.
Heather, you didn't have to get all dolled up for me.
Sorry.
No, I'm.
For your audience.
I'll take you anywhere I can get you, Heather. I tell you, because you're so busy. Heather, Holistic Hip Hop Collective. Y'all need to check her out.
Yes. Do that.
Want to thank you.
Indie artists, everybody. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thank you, my Facebook Live family. Joy, thank you for watching. Eva.
Thank you, Joy.
Yes.
Eva.
We had our subs. I'm sorry, what's your name again? Jacob. broadcast
The
engineer
lead
to the
engineer.
shots.
He
to
is a
stars.
beast.
Thank you so much. He kept things flowing. Kevin, thank you so much. Appreciate
Yes.
you. My girl Minnie, if you're watching from South Kakalaki, love you, girl. Hope to talk to you soon. You guys, make sure you come back and see us again next week, 6 o'clock, right here on listenvisionlive.com.
Wendy Hicks.
Yes, bye.
Oh, yeah. My life is a gift from you, blessed from heaven, that's for sure. So every day I live, give thanks to you. Oh, I haven't been perfect, and that's okay. And you still show love my way, yeah. Please don't leave me, stay, 'cause I know the sun doesn't shine, the rain doesn't fall, and there wouldn't be a twinkle, twinkle little star. And just like we have winter, spring, and summer, fall, I can always count on you, because you never let me down. You've always been around for me, and my trust for you will never leave. It will never leave, because you know my destiny. So I believe. Oh, oh, oh. Every day my faith gets stronger, knowing you're there, I hang on a little longer. Sometimes life gets a little hard, hey. Your times are tough, so hard to bear. I get weak sometimes, I feel you really don't care. But when I open my eyes and look out the window and see that the sun doesn't shine and the rain doesn't fall, and there wouldn't be a twinkle, twinkle little star, yeah. And just like we have a winter, spring, and summer, fall, I can always